What up, what up? Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below. We just got done doing the P90X legs and back. Week 5, day 5. Hell yeah, that was nice. We did abs, busted out a bunch of pull-ups. Fuck yeah, that was good. Getting the shoulder muscles working, getting the leg muscles going. Hell yeah. Getting the leg muscles pumped. Hell yeah. I'm still not good at posing the legs, but you could definitely tell. Hell yeah, them shits are pumped. Now, it was a little bit ago. To be honest, I was doing some other work, so I have lost my pump, but that's okay. Still looking pretty good. Hell yeah. Eating maintenance. Been eating a little bit of ice cream. Having an extra meal most days after work. Not today though. Feeling pretty full. About to hit the sauna. Gonna be wrapping it up soon. And I'm not that hungry. So you might find while you're on maintenance, some days you're going to be hungry and some days you're not going to be as hungry. That's just how it goes sometimes. As you realize you're going on this diet and stuff, you stop having those cravings for the snack foods, for the little bullshit, knickknacks that you find around the office, at work. That little snack in the morning you used to get with the coffee, you cut that out and you really don't, really fiend for it no more. So there's things that change over time. And then when you get off the diet and you go back to having a more open menu, you start to avoid, the bad choices, so to speak. You don't go to the fast food every day. You're still making your food throughout the week, but you can incorporate a bag of chips here and there. You can incorporate, an extra lunch meat sandwich or whatever, or a little snack cake or whatever little treat, you can fit that in, and you realize that you're not going to be going overboard because you're not going to buy a whole box of Little Debbie's and eat the whole box. Hell, you could eat a whole box in a week and it's not a big deal. There's lots of wiggle room that you get once you've cut that weight and once you've stopped making the bad choices. If you're eating fast food 5 times a week, 6 times a week, 10 times a week, and you drop that down to 2 times a week, you'll notice a big difference. If you was cutting the diet and you went to 0 times a week, and then, you want to mix it up and do it once or twice a week, that's fine. It's not a big deal. But while you're managing your weight, you're going to have to keep track of it. You're going to have to keep an idea of what your weight's doing. And if you start creeping up there again and you think it might be from the fast food, then cut that shit out. See if it goes back down again. But you got to be smart when you start getting in shape and losing the weight. And when you're eating your calories, you need to manage those. Even if you're not doing like portion controls and weighing your food portions or whatever, you have a general idea of what you're eating at maintenance, what you're eating when you're in a deficit, and then everything above that is obviously going to be in a surplus. So, use your wiggle room wisely and don't goof off too much. And if you do, don't beat yourself up. Just realize that you're going to have to cut. And the next time you get out of the diet, don't make that choice again. You know, be wise. There was a time where I was having ice cream sandwiches coupled with some Reese's. I realized that that combination is not good. You need to pick one or the other. Do not mix them. You're adding more calories. At the time, I was just trying to do that and supplement just extra junk calories in my diet because I needed more calories. And I also wanted to experiment. So you're going to have to experiment with your own diet, with your own menu items, but keep the basic menu the same. Keep the meats the same, the vegetables the same, keep your starches and the grains relatively the same. You don't want to have a million choices because then you're going to go back to the way it was before, making things on the fly, buying microwave dinners, being confused as to what you're going to make, being, overburdened by all the preparation, making new things every night, making, dirty dishes every night. This stuff gets old. But if you make you meal prep, 1 to 2, 3 meals a week, pretty much every week you got 1 meal plus leftovers. That's easy. A lot of people can do that. You can do that for the kids. You can do that for everybody. And then that breaks down every meal being 2 for 1. So if you spent $30 on a meal to make it all, and you get to eat it 2 times, well, then think about it. That's a $15 meal for the whole family times two. Like, that's a savings in and of itself when you're talking about 40 or $50 per dinner for a family, and that's probably on the cheap end. So you start saving all this money making food for you and your family, you'll start noticing it. You won't even want to eat fast food. Like, you'll see. You'll see. But for real, take it seriously. And it's not a short-term thing. You really want to think about your health and your wellness, your longevity, your heart, your lungs, your liver, your kidneys, your gut. Colon cancer and small intestine type stuff. Those things ain't no joke. You got to get your colonoscopies. You got to get your inspections. And men over 40, you ain't getting no younger. We're getting to that age. You might know somebody that's got some kind of cancer in the colon or have some other kind of, issues and stuff. And if you can get ahead of that stuff now by eating the right things, taking care of your body, strengthening your heart and your lungs, stop drinking alcohol, stop smoking cigarettes, be a good role model for your kids. You're going to be a lot happier in the future after you've been time taking care of yourself, you know, instead of beating yourself up for another 20 years, make the improvements, start, refurbishing the interior, so to speak, renovating it, spruce it up. And if you need help, we got a group in the Discord, like-minded guys trying to get fit, trying to get in shape, focusing on the P90X as an easy way to get the job done. And we got mentoring available. We got a members area for more insights on diet and meal plan. One-on-one coaching is available. There's a lot of support there for guys and anybody really that's just trying to find other like-minded folks to get in shape. It's free to join and sign up on the Discord. You can post messages and reach out to me, send me a DM and stuff, and we can see if you'd be a good fit for one-on-one coaching or see about the upgraded membership, get you more details on more precise techniques to get the job done, to take some of that confusion out and to focus you in the right direction. Because I know there's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of information on YouTube. I thank you for watching this video. If you found out about my channel, you're trying to get ripped, you're trying to get in shape. You might be, in your 40s. You might be a stay-at-home dad. You might not have access to the gym. But with the P90X3 30-minute workout, you can get ripped at home while your kid's sleeping. You can get jacked at home while your wife's at work, while you're chilling on the couch, living the luxuries. doing your, house husband duties. You can be, doing her a favor by taking care of your body and being sexy for her, getting on body game, so she can tell her friends how hot her man is. And she can show off at the beach, at the pool. She ain't got to worry about if her husband or her man is a fat slob. You know, she knows that her man's tight. He's on point. He looks good. He's ready for action. That could be you. So check out my other videos, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below. I got videos coming out every day. I'm trying to show men over 40 and really anybody in general that you don't got to go crazy at the gym. You don't got to do, some insane workout. I'm doing the P90X. It's some old school shit that's proven results. You couple that with some diet and eat the right things, stop doing the goofy shit, knock out the bad habits, drinking, smoking, fast food, cakes, candies, donuts, sweet teas, Kool-Aids, the sodas, all that shit. And you can get healthy, you can get ripped, and it really won't take that much effort. You got what it takes? Are you a commander? You command respect. You got the eye of the tiger, the heart of the lion, and the hunger of the wolf. Prove it. Show me what you got. Do the 90-day challenge. We're almost halfway done, baby. Week 5, that's a wrap. We got 2 more days left. Come on now. What are you waiting for? And if you can't handle an hour workout, do the 30-minute workout. When I found that out, that was the last excuse I had. And here we are, getting ripped. And this year, I'm getting absolutely shredded. So, see how I do that? We'll see what's up. Later.